welcome to another edit, and thank you for being here with me. I'm excited for this one because I know there's a lot of you waiting to watch the full series, and trust me, it is worth it in some ways. I'm sorry that I haven't got the dialogue for you in this one, but what reason would you have to go and watch it yourself if I gave it all away, right? Today we are talking about Love Sucks, and this is a supernatural romance where the stakes couldn't be higher, pun intended. So this stars, Damian Hardung, who we all kind of fell in love with after watching Maxton Hall, which is another amazing series that he's in. So I'm sure most of you watching this have seen it and have probably clicked on this just because Damian Hardung's in it. And let me tell you, his performance is really, it's really intense. It's really good. I was very impressed because this is a bit more than just just those haunting looks of being the tortured soul. He's playing obviously a totally different character in the sense that he's a vampire. But at the same time, don't worry, if you're here for those romantic moments, longing looks at the girl, they're still very much a part of the story. So if you are here for the feels, they won't be missing. Basically, Zelda is a boxer who's trained by her father. It's like their family business and the family ring. That's just fun for her, which is where she meets Ben, who is a sensitive and secretive guy who's actually a vampire. That's not even the craziest part. So it turns out that her family is in the vampire slaying business that she learns about eventually, which obviously is going to lead to some major drama down the line once they become involved with one another. He's feeling a bit dazed and confused, and he's instantly drawn to her, completely unaware that they've both got these huge secrets that they're hiding from the other. And I thought that was they got off to a really good solid start. The storyline was great. They both had this secret, and then they obviously they do get together quite quickly, and they've got to keep that a secret. But there's just way more going on that hasn't been discovered yet. And also, I really enjoyed the fact that it wasn't typical Edward Cullen vampire style. We all know that vampires are supposed to be in Hollywood nowadays. It's they're these strong, all powerful beings, and they can control you and all of that. But this series really showed them, or they portrayed them in a totally different sort of light. They were more human. Apart from the fact that they can drink blood, and that's how they survive, they were different to the typical vampire you'd expect to see. Hence how she knocks him out with a single punch. And there's also something more sinister lurking beneath the surface, and you feel you need to keep watching to unravel what's coming and what's going to happen. If you're okay with the sight of blood and guts, then you're in store for plenty on this, because it doesn't disappoint on the horror kind of side. I am not a big gory person, but I just had to watch it. The romance, there's plenty, blood and guts and actions a lot, but what I want to talk about is the depth to the storyline, because that's what I'm kind of looking for nowadays. I want a little bit more than just the surface level, you can guess where they're going to end up together and that's about it. Zelda she's expected to join the vampire hunt and start killing them. She faces these challenges, and they're inner challenges with her morals and what she believes. For example, she's expected to ram a stake through a child vampire's chest. She starts struggling to see them all as monsters, and you find yourself, at least I found myself kind of shouting at the TV at times for her to do something or not do something, in a certain situation. So it's really good for that, because it's really involving. Then things take a strange turn, and before you know it, they're suddenly swearing their love to one another for like all eternity. So it does get really, it is a bit random at times. Like I found myself being like, what's happening now? I'm confused. Like, I think you're either going to really like it or hate it. And for me, I really loved like the first few episodes, and then it just became a little bit too much. I mean, like, obviously it's already far-fetched because it's vampires, right? But this part where they're like swearing their love to one another, and it's all happening by like, you know, an early episode or like a 5th, 6th episode, it's kind of like, I don't know, I just kind of found myself rolling my eyes a little bit, like, seriously? Like, the storyline was pretty good on its own, and they'd already got their, you know, you could tell how much they were like, how they'd fallen for each other, and you kind of wrapped up in it. But then it was like they suddenly started to try and cram way too much into the first season. And I mean, fair enough, they might be thinking, well, we're not going to get a second series, so let's get everything out of this that we possibly can. But I just think there were moments in it that weren't necessarily needed. So you'll have to let me know what you think in the comments once you've watched this series, because did you feel like that, or did you just like it as it was? Like, is there things that you think weren't needed or weren't necessary to the story, and that were just even too far-fetched? I feel like I can't say far-fetched because I'm talking about vampires, and vampires are far-fetched anyway. But you get me on this, you know what I mean. About it this time. So as always, thank you for watching. If you like this video, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more. I do manage to get early access to some titles from time to time, like this one. So if you want to stay in the loop with the latest releases, make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you in the next one.